Today we have a red topic, maybe a delicious topic. If you want to know about the blood, keep watching. Hello guys, I'm Dr. Hernandez-Benitez and I'm a scientist. Today we are talking about the blood. Everybody knows the blood. Someone might think it is disgusting. For others, an essential fluid that they are used to seeing. And for other big bunch of people, we know we have it, but that's all, the blood. This liquid that is essential for life, for maintaining alive all the parts in our body. Why? Because yes, we eat food, but somehow we need a system to transport small parts of nutrients across all our cells in our body. But not only nutrients, but also oxygen. Imagine the cells in our brain. Do they need to eat? Yes, of course. The cells in our toes, the cells in our fingers, each tiny part of our body needs to access to the nutrients that we eat. So the blood accomplishes this function. In addition, not only we are talking about nutrients, we are talking about respiration. Our brain or tiny cells in each part of our body, they need to acquire oxygen to survive, to breathe. The blood, like a liquid that is red and has some kind of viscosity, thicker than the water. Actually, there is a scale to measure how fluid is the blood and other liquids. For example, in this scale, the number 1 equals to the fluid characteristic of the water. And if something has some more sticky thickness and then the flow is more slow compared with the flow of water, then the scale increases or decreases. So in the case of the blood, because it has a more viscosity characteristic, in this scale takes the value of 4.5 or 5. So what is in the blood? The blood is mainly composed by 2 big elements, water and a bunch of cells and molecules that travel and are in suspension across this water. So there is a liquid part and a solid part. The plasma and the components that are traveling across this plasma. Between those components, we have several cell types. Between the cell types, the major part is formed by erythrocytes. If we place a sample of blood in a test tube and we leave it over there, we can see that those elements that are in suspension in the blood will start to go down, to precipitate. So the blood can form some layers. The most heavy elements will go to the bottom of this tube. And usually those heaviest elements are called erythrocytes, are a cell type. Those erythrocytes are the ones responsible of the red color of the blood. And this is because inside this cell type called erythrocyte, we have molecules that contain iron, and those molecules of iron, when associated with oxygen, depending on how much oxygen is associated, then this will bring the blood a color from the bright red to a dusty red. Erythrocytes constitute the most abundant cell type inside the blood. Another cell component that is important are the leucocytes. Those cells are the less abundant in the blood. Actually, it's less than 1% of the cells that are in the blood. However, they are really important, especially for the immune response. When we are sick, those cells and the number of cells that is possible to quantify in a blood sample might indicate a presence of a certain disease or inflammation response. So the leukocytes are more related with the immune system. And finally, inside of the blood, there are many other elements like proteins, lipids, metabolites, those small molecules, including vitamins that are important in general for all the cells in our body to get a proper nourishment. So the blood is the transport system for all nutrients and oxygen across our body. And finally, if you are fascinated by the topic of the blood, yes, you can be a specialist on blood. Actually, there is a profession that is called phlebotomist. And those are the professionals that are specialized in taking samples from the blood. Usually the most common samples, and it's very important how to learn to do it properly. Those samples are taken from the inner side of our arm. However, depending on the type of patient or the type of readout that the medical doctor needs to evaluate, the blood could be taken from an artery instead of the vein, or could be taken from the fingers and also from other parts of the body. And there is official training and high demand of those specialists. So usually those specialists work in health-related environments, and you don't need to get a higher degree to get a specialization for perform this activity. However, you need a proper training that will be certificated. And to work in laboratories, for example, for clinical or medical analysis, you will be a valuable resource if you do properly. You can go deeper and also make a specialization in the analysis of the pathology in the blood. So there is a huge area for those interested in learning about this red thing, the blood. Okay guys, I hope this conversation about the blood and its red characteristics and functions makes sense for you and you learn something from here. If you have any questions, don't hesitate, contact me and see you next time. Bye!